Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
was indeed fake news.
Oh, come on.
We don't want fake news.
Damn it.
You're CNN. You're fake news. You have an agenda.
No, we're Bullhorn Betty, but we do have an agenda. We do have an agenda. I'm just joking. I hope everybody is doing well. I don't know how many people we've got over in the vertical chat. We've got 19 of you souls. I'm Bullhorn Betty. If you're over in the vertical chat, you should see the breaking news above my head. If you are in the horizontal chat or on the TV or on the computer, you will see the breaking news behind and to the side of me here. And if you don't see it to the side of me here, you're in the vertical chat. So if you are one of those people that are in the vertical chat, come on over to the horizontal chat, especially if you're new here, because you got to wait 5 days to speak over there. Over here, you only have to wait 20 minutes, and by the time I'm done with my rant on the political stuff, you'll be able to tell me about myself. I'm just saying. Just saying, not playing. I hope everybody's doing well. I knew if I took the day off, I'm like, they're going to think I'm dead, okay? Betty, get your ass up and get to work. I can't help it. It's like after the new year, I got like lead in my booty. No, I didn't. Actually, what I had done is, now I'm just joking, but I did make some stuff, you know, I'm making homemade clam chowder tomorrow. I've already got it mixed all together, so all it's got to do is rest and marry overnight, then go onto the stove tomorrow, and bada bing, bada boom, we got lunch. We got lunch, and it's going to be more than lunch. So grab your drink. We haven't been around each other for about 2 days, so we've got a lot to go over related to some crime in the news, some breaking news updates, as well as we're going to be moving on to Sebastian Rogers, the Sebastian Rogers case. But first, you guys are not going to believe some of the stuff that is going on. So good evening, my beautiful coffee beans! Because I'm a love machine. Tonight we're going to begin with some pretty crazy stories, and these span, you know, community safety, public accountability, politics, global development. We approach each topic factually and where appropriate, sensitivities to those that these cases may affect, because the reason why I have to put that disclaimer is the first case we're going to go over, I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's out of Flagler County, Florida, right in my own backyard. And it's shocking. Okay, so we're going to put a trigger alert before we even get started on the Sebastian Rogers case, because this is why we love law enforcement so much, okay? Actually, let me just go through here. We're already getting some people in the chat, so it's going to be hard for me to say hi to everybody. So I'm going to try to say hi to you guys as you guys are coming in. Melanie, let me just go up just a little bit and see if I can say hi to a few of you. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Melanie, me and you, Grave Crime with Grace, Donna, Selena, it's nice to see you, Sadie, Nightbot, Little Orange Man, Lori reminding us, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We need your DNA. Lisa, it's nice to have you here. Good morning, afternoon, evening. The real me too. Betty fan, it's nice to see you. YouTuber, Denise, it's nice to see you. I know you guys were missing me. I know you were. I felt it. I felt the side eye. I felt if I didn't come on here, I was going to get the stink eye from you guys tomorrow. So I'm like, you know what? I missed you guys. So I decided to come on here anyways. We got a lot to go over anyways. And, and I was able to plug in Terry and Nancy Grace's interview. I forgot to tell you guys that. We're going to be going over some good stuff. So stick around. You guys are going to want to watch this. Pebbles, it's nice to see you. Good evening. Oh, and mods. Let me write my note here. You know what? Actually, let me go ahead and start doing it now. Mods, in our main chat, our mod chat, I need you guys to go over there because we're going to have to start. Hold on a second. Okay. Ooh, Dad's bond was set. Ooh, 400. You know what? I'm sorry. But his dad put him in danger, and he lost his life. You know, I mean, so if you guys were wondering what, I just realized that Jonathan Everett Boley's dad, you know, he was the kid that got, that, you know, went out with the dog and ended up falling in a ravine. He was he wasn't being watched or anything. They had explosive devices around the house, and he kind of could just walk off without anybody around. And clearly it was very, very dangerous because he ended up falling off a ravine and hurting himself and to the point of death. So anyways, they just said his bond was at $400,000. And you know what? I know that he did not intend for his son to lose his life. And I can't imagine as a father, you know, you being responsible for your child's death, how that tolls on the psyche and the body, you know. But at the end of the day, it was his irresponsibility. And like I said, you know, I'm so sick and tired of this because the mother tried to protect her children. And of course, a judge made the mom go turn this child over to the parent at least 5 days out of the year. And it seems so minor, but look at the result of this terrible decision. Look at the result of this terrible decision. This father should have had supervised visits, something else. There should have been some other type of dynamic. Him come down to Florida so he could stay there and, you know, whatever. There should have been more. Anyways, I'm not going to go. I just found this out. So let me send you guys a message. Okay, there you guys go. So I'm going to leave that all up to you guys to, you know, do your thing that you guys do behind the scenes and let me know what you think. But you guys got that. Okay. So it's nice to see you. Pebbles, all my mods are here. The real me too. Be Betty fan Pebbles. And I know Sonia's right around the corner. So it's nice to see you ladies. Don't forget to tell your local moderators, thank you for keeping the chat all sweet and stuff. I'm just saying. If Bullhorn Betty was running the chat, you guys would hate it. I'm just saying. Frosty Moose, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. Me and you. Medic Biker, Little Orange Man. Who else do we have? Lisa, Samantha, it's nice to see you all here. Good evening. All right, Brenda, it's nice to see you. Tina, Let Them 66. And for the folks that are in the vertical chat, Crystal, it's nice to see you. Judy, Reba, Whispering Winds, it's nice to see you. I hope you guys are all doing well this evening. What is this? Julie Rhodes. Oh, Julie. Hey. And then Phil. It is nice to see you guys over there. So I'll try to monitor that as we go through some of this stuff. But as I was saying, this next case is pretty... let me go ahead and get into the... Nope. There we go. Into this as we start talking about this. And this was not only dangerous, this is just absolutely insane. So our first story involves a child who is now safer after a frightening ordeal in Northeast Florida. Guys, not just a frightening ordeal. This is every parent's worst nightmare. And literally, I mean that. Because a routine traffic stop saved an 11-year-old boy. And so Flagler deputies on New Year's Eve stopped a vehicle. And you guys kind of see the vehicle behind me. And it led to the rescue of an 11-year-old boy who had been reported missing. According to law enforcement reports, the child told deputies he had been kidnapped. And he believed that if he wasn't saved right then and there by that evening, he would not have made it. He was think about that. A little boy thinking he's going to not make it through another night. I can't imagine that. And so the person that was arrested was a 60-year-old RSO, Darnell Hairston, who allegedly lured the boy to a wooded campsite, restrained him, and made threats. The sheriff's office reported multiple charges, including kidnapping, aggravated child abuse, and emphasized see something, say something, which is one of our slogans here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Now, this is very, very sensitive. This case involves a child victim and allegations of serious abuse. We will discuss verified facts from law enforcement, and it's pretty clear who the culprit is, but we're going to refrain from too much, with this case because of the little 11-year-old boy. Our hearts are with the victim and his family in this very difficult situation. So with that reminds us the importance of vigilant in our communities. So I want you to see this. This is a little crazy because there's one other nuance that you guys don't know about. He tries to run, as you're going to see, but the car takes off. That's a 15-year-old boy that's taking off in this vehicle. And I'm not quite sure how this whole dynamic works, but it seems like the 15-year-old boy and the 60-year-old man helped lure the 11-year-old boy. So I don't know. I mean, this is a good example of, rooming. You guys get it? With the GER, right? And it feels like that happened with the 15-year-old boy, which ultimately, abused, become the abuser type of situation or something similar to that. Do I think the 15-year-old boy should be punished? Depending on the situation, I really do think that if it is appropriate, he needs therapy and a lot of it. But again, let me just get in here so you guys can see it so we can move on to our next case. I want to get into Sebastian Rogers fairly quickly.
Okay, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
New charges tonight for this man, Darnell Hairston, a registered sex offender seen in this body camera video running from deputies after he was pulled over in Bunnell on December 31st. Deputies said 2 other people were taken out of the truck. A 15-year-old accused.
The 15, you see them wrestling with him on the floor, on the ground, and the car just takes off.
Of taking off in the truck while deputies wrestled with Hairston. Ultimately, the teen is accused of ramming into a deputy's cruiser before crashing.
Wow.
The other person taken from the truck, an 11-year-old boy who had been reported missing days earlier. An arrest report says he asked the deputy who found him, "Can you help me?" and said he was worried he would be killed that night.
Very, very, very alarming situation, here in Florida. This is very scary. I don't know very much about this. I will be looking kind of into this case a little bit. But this is just, and this is not a unique story this day and age, folks. That's my problem with all of this. This is not a unique story. This is quite a common occurrence this day and age. This was not a stranger. Okay. It sounds to me like this guy was the guy that helped all the neighborhood kids with their 4-wheelers. You guys get it? It's funny how these type of people, they find ways to have contact and be around children, even offering free services like working on their quads, and other dirt bike type of, items. And that's the icebreaker for some of these. They break them down, they get them to like them, that's when they start incorporating substances or alcohol into it, starting to show them, graphic images on TV, and they start building that type of rapport with these kids. And then they start, manipulating them on what good touch and bad touch is and what being a real man is all about and stuff like that. And that's how they're able to abuse children. So we want to be very careful. But this little boy is very lucky to be alive right now. And I can't imagine what his parents, his parents were that close to possibly losing their young son. At least he has an opportunity to try to live, and try to have a normal life. Any other options wouldn't have been very well. But with that reminder of importance of vigilance vigilant communities, we also turn to an unfolding political and financial controversy that has drawn national attention. And of course, that is the Minnesota fraud allegations that are going on. It obviously is just the tip of the iceberg. A viral video and subsequent investigations have brought new scrutiny to the alleged fraud in Minnesota, in Minnesota's public assistance program, including them stopping the federal funds, literally turning off any federal payments without proof of service, which I believe should be the standard anyways. I mean, I can't believe our government is literally just writing checks because people say, oh, I need this much money. I mean, I have never seen anybody run a company without verifiable receipts. You know, I mean, we have petty cash, you have reimbursements and all these other things, but I've never heard of any company giving any reimbursements without you filling out a report and providing the proof to that report. But hey, and this is the federal government. This is just our money, and they don't really care who they send it out to. But a wide circulated video by independent journalist Nick Shirley highlighted the concerns about potential fraud at licensed childcare and social service providers in Minnesota. And that has ballooned to doctors' offices, ALFs and assisted living facilities and adult daycares. And it's also expanded past Minnesota as well. The video prompted federal investigations by Homeland Security and the FBI into misuse of federal funds across multiple state programs. They identified 14 programs that were ripe and riddled with fraud, every single one of them. I don't think they have one essential program that has not been riddled with fraud in Minnesota. But I'll let you guys let me know. If I'm wrong about that, please send the information to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I personally haven't asked anybody that question or looked into it any further. It's just an assumption, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm happy to disclose the proper information. So if you guys have proper information that contradicts that statement, please send it to me. Again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Minnesota's Department of Children, Youth, and Family confirmed active investigations at a number of child care centers featured in the viral content. So there's active investigations, and there's more arrests. Officials say investigators cover multiple public assistance programs, not just the child care, and may involve billions in federal funding. We're estimating 18 right now, which, you know, putting the ALFs in there, it may balloon. Oh, good gracious, it makes me sick to think about it. Political debate has intensified, with some critics questioning the handling of allegations and others expressing concerns about the racial and community impacts of public commentary. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has been a focal point of that debate, with criticism from opponents about alleged oversight failures and defense from his supporters. There is no defense, folks, for what is going on in Minnesota. None. This remains an active and evolving story. State, federal, local authorities are all engaged in assessments and investigations, and the political response continues on multiple fronts. I need to put this up one more. There we go.
Annie and Atara, I hope you're watching. My condolences for all of you who will be stuck with me today. I'm here today with representatives from my office, as well as from the FBI, the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Inspector General, the IRS Criminal Investigations, and the Department of Homeland Security Investigations. We are here to announce new charges in the ongoing investigations into fraud in state government programs, including the Housing Stabilization Services Medicaid program and the EIDBI Autism Medicaid program. I also want to give
They were stealing funds from the autistic kids. They were stealing funds from the autistic kids. I can't remember what Tim Walz said today on X. I can't remember what he said, but I ended up, leaving a comment for him. I'm like, you allowed fraud to take money from babies' mouths. sit down. Sit down. Like, you got no room to talk over here. I mean, you just got no room to talk. We don't care at this point. I mean, that was federal funds. That was all of our money. Tim Walz is just, and they we'll get into it another time. We'll get into it another time. We'll get into it another time. I promise you, we'll get into it another time.
Public concern here and around the country.
Woosah.
First, we're announcing charges against 5 new defendants in the investigation of fraud in the Housing Stabilization Services Medicaid program here in Minnesota. The first indictment, United States versus Hassan Ahmed Hussein and Ahmed Abdirashim Mohammed, involves the owners of Pristine Health LLC, a housing stabilization services company here in Minnesota. These 2 defendants enrolled in the Housing Stabilization Services program, purportedly to provide services helping people who are facing housing instability find and maintain stable housing.
Let me guess. Can you guys guess how much went to helping who they were supposed to help? Anybody? Anybody know? Anybody? No. Oh, okay. Well, you don't know. Well, nothing went to them. They went to rent Rolls Royces and luxury vacations all over the world. Guys, that's money that we're never going to get back. When you hear that, like, when you hear they're buying properties, you can say, okay, good, right? You've got some tangible items there that you can seize and sell, right? So you can recoup money back. But when you're hearing that they're going on luxury trips, you're talking about just flowing money out, right? To restaurants, to hotel. That money you're never going to collect. You can't go and take that vacation and sell it. It's done. It's over with, okay? So, I hear these things. I love to hear that they bought cars, bought jewelry, bought, gold, bought this, bought that. It's not that I love the fraud, but if they're going to steal from us and we're finding out about it, I want the tangible stuff we can sell and get the money back, right? But a lot of these people, they didn't even buy the freaking, whatever it was. What did I say? Range Rover, I think is what it was. They didn't even buy it. They were renting it. What? You're stealing millions and millions of dollars and you're renting a vehicle? The hell? Wait, who's stealing the money? Oh, you guys aren't here now? Oh, yeah, the Somalis. They took billions of dollars, like $18 billion out of Minnesota alone, and this is happening all over the country. We haven't even scratched the surface. We haven't even got into the other states yet. Well, yes, we have. We started doing some states. We found fraud in Washington, Ohio. Oh, crap. I can't remember the other ones. I know it's going on in all 50 states, but the ones that are being really noticeable, I think, was in Columbus, Ohio. We got some people over in Washington State that have already, yeah. I don't know. They're not dumb crooks. I mean, I can't believe that these people that have no education could pull this off. That's what's making me that's what's making me know that there is government involved in this. Those people don't know what the hell they're doing. They would never be able to know how to fill out the paper. They can't even spell learning for sakes. Just saying. I don't expect people that can't even spell learning. They can't even spell learning, folks. The people that can't even spell learning are the ones that are responsible for the biggest heist of federal funds in the history of America. Cut it out. I'm sorry. Who believes that? I just want to know. I want to know. We don't have that many people. We're like, got 173 people in our horizontal. We got like 35 people in our vertical. Let me know. Do you really believe that they're this smart, that they could outsmart? I mean, they couldn't spell learning. And they didn't even realize that their learning sign was spelled get out there and change the sign, and nobody's letting them change the sign because there's so many people with cameras on them. I found that hilarious. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get back to it. And speaking of politics, a specific social media claim has also been circulating involving another high-profile Minnesota figure, and it's a case that we covered here. We spent like 2 or 3 days covering the case of Melissa Hortman. She was a politician, a Minnesota politician that had voted, and this is where it's starting to come back in, because she voted against ensuring the illegal population. And I can't even remember how long, but within like 24 or 48 hours, she was dead. And Vance Bolter, which used to work for Tim Walz, is the one that ultimately was responsible for it. And he told the FBI that Tim Walz made him do it. So, and these things still haven't come out, but there was a paper written, I mean, I think it has come out, but there was a paper written that he wrote down, and he said Tim Walz made him do it. So on social media, including posts tied to public figures, these claims are linking political action to alleged directives by the Minnesota governor, Tim Walz. A recent post linked to Vance Bolter referenced Melissa Hortman's vote against the alleged election fraud and claimed Governor Walz was involved in the situation. It's essential to separate verified factual reporting from opinion or unconfirmed social media claims, but previously covered reporting on the topic reviewed known political actions and legislative records without corroborating these social media assertions. But, again, we have statements on social media, and let me just let you listen. Hold on here. Let me get you guys to the spot and let you just listen for yourself. Because here is Vance Bolter, where we were covering it. And here's what we have. Bombshell. President Trump just dropped a shocking video exposing how Tim Walz might have had the Minnesota representative, Melissa Hortman, assassinated. Guys, I mean, we know that this is not too far-fetched because, you know, the left is the party of hostility and violence.
Do you guys remember Melissa Hortman, the Minnesota state rep that had her life taken from her by Tim Walz's aide after voting to take away health care from illegal immigrants?
She was unalived in her home by Vance Bolter, who was later caught after a manhunt. He then sent a letter to the FBI and Kash Patel saying that it was Tim Walz who forced him to do it. Both Vance Bolter and his wife worked for Tim Walz for years in different states. Was Melissa Hortman unalived because she voted against a multi-billion-dollar money laundering fraud? The fraud that she voted against that heavily implicated illegal aliens, specifically Somalians, who have been racketing this kind of child care, health care rackets and cooperating with our corrupt government. And today it's breaking news that the money laundering scam in Minnesota of billions of dollars for healthcare offices, child daycares, Medicaid, and various forms of care agencies. These money laundering frauds have been exposed, and it all comes back to Tim Walz.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
Very shortly after this, she was unalived in her home by Vance Bolter. Vance Bolter and his wife worked for Tim Walz.
So you guys get the gist of what I am stating here. I mean, we covered this case, and we also covered the connection to Tim Walz on this channel. And even though we put this case away, look how it has, you know, flipped around, and it's back. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here it is again. And guess what? Tim Walz is now really being looked at because there had to have been, in my opinion, some type of government assistance. And we also have, what's-her-face, Ilhan Omar, being the architect that actually relaxed the laws in an effort to make the fraud happen. If it wasn't for her bill, it would have made it more difficult for them to commit fraud on the people. So it makes you wonder, why did everybody vote to relax stringent oversight to make sure that this didn't happen, unless they wanted this to happen, you know? So from politics in Minnesota, we turn to another significant story that has reached global attention. And the fourth video link relates to another ongoing case. And I will provide an overview base on this, because specific details of the video linked were not fully accessible. But while we review the link, we will provide the video itself so it can be independently verified. So here's our next story. Out of Cook County, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois.
I guess $1 Million Tony couldn't make it today. She too busy loving her home she just got for $1 million, while we just received these high property tax bills. So we all here because of our property taxes. Some here, like Zoe and Miss Jessica, because y'all stealing black people property.
If you guys don't read her shirt, she says, Chicago flips red, okay? You got to remember, at once upon a time, the party represented a lot of us, right? And it doesn't anymore. They're not even representative of the black communities anymore. They're actually shipping in voters now. They don't want none of us. They don't want the Americans, right? So it's starting to cause this cancer, or I shouldn't say cancer, I should say standing up and speaking up, really, not a cancer, because they're actually seeing the cancer and they're realizing they don't want no part of it, and they've been duped for a really long time. So this lady is out here and she is speaking her truth, and she's sick and tired of them lying to the people. And so this is an activist in Chicago, and if you're in Chicago, there needs to be more. There needs to be more of you guys out there. There needs to be more of you guys out there. But she did very good. She doesn't take no shit. This is not my first time watching this gal. I watch her often.
So I just want to know, because we just came from the city council meeting. We're coming there, and the city is blaming the county. And now you just blaming Springfield. And then when all these people, when they go to these town hall meetings and you send your puppets, they lie and they blame the invisible white man. Somehow they are pushing us out of our community. They want our property. They want black people property. They never say who it is. They just say, you know who they are. But when I come up in here, I see all black faces. I see Democrats. So are we talking about the Democrats are pushing black people out of their communities? The Democrats hate black people. The Democrats want our property and replace us with illegal aliens, because you all come in these meetings talking about the invisible white person, but we don't never see him, but we see all of you all here. And then you sit here, all these black faces, you sit here all Democrats, and you sit here all arrogantly like your seats are secure, like we are not coming after these seats. Just like I told Brendan Johnson over there the first time I spoke on that mic, I said the same thing that's making y'all laugh in here gonna make y'all cry. And then you see what's happening. Same thing here. Now I'm giving y'all warning right here. The same thing that's making y'all laugh in here is gonna make y'all cry. Mark my words.
I say the same thing that to my politicians myself. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is erupting all over the country. Everybody is pissed that we're being robbed from. Everybody but one little small faction of the entire population, and we're not even going to incorporate the entire Democrat population into that, because the majority of the Democrat population is leaving in the droves. because they no longer represent the true blue Democrat families anymore, unfortunately. That's what I'm being told. I did not look into it myself. I got better things to be doing than looking at that. But at the end of the day, they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So now let's shift to a global development that's implications for international law enforcement. And you guys know what I'm about to go into. It's the capture of Nicolas Maduro, okay? Finally, a significant international law enforcement development, the reported capture of Venezuela, and I'm not even going to call him the president because he stole the stinking elections worse than Biden. He has kidnapped an entire country for the love of everything that's holy. And we got white liberals marching up and down the roads in the United States saying no war. It wasn't a war. We kicked in the front door and executed a freaking arrest warrant, okay? Calm down, cupcakes. Calm down, okay? We're not doing nothing. We're not doing nothing illegal, okay? Just executing an arrest warrant. It's what us people dealing with law and order do, okay? Calm down. But we got people just crying they went and took the president off of sovereign soil. Okay, well, we ain't got time for that. But the people, the Venezuelans, the people that have fled the country to save their families, there is literally celebrations erupting all over the United States from the Venezuelan population. There is cheer and laughter in the streets of Venezuela. We even have people spilling out in the streets of Spain and all over the country, again, from Venezuelans that had to flee the oppression of this dictator. They are celebrating. And we've got idiots in our street telling them to quit celebrating their independence like idiots, like absolute idiots. Karma's moon, yep, dumb, just stupid, yeah, Betty, don't know when to shut up. It's why she can't build. Oh, that we have a little meanie. Aw, well, it seems funny because you're here. I've been doing this for a while. I seem to keep coming back every single day. Aw, you poor little baby.
Sneaky gremlins love to fight, but we're here to set it right. Jump and duck, let's take a shot. Turning trolls into what they're not. Quick.
I got a fan. If you guys want to know who Blank Screen is, I am still looking for Blank Screen. You can go over to my X account. I think I just posted another picture of him earlier today. We are still searching for him, and I think it's Monk's Corner, South Carolina, that he very well may be in. So go over there, check him out. I'm going to be posting him up on the other accounts that I've got. He gonna be famous. And then we're going to go after his J.O.B., which I don't even think he has one. Uncle Eddie. No, he's kind of like a basement Joe. He's just a basement Joe. Oh. I think he does. He's got to have a crush on me. That's just, I mean, who does that? Who stalks somebody? Like, that's just a loser. Absolute loser. Absolute loser. Womp, womp, womp. Oh, we got that. Loser. Why do I keep forgetting about the loser button? Let's do that again. So, a social media post citing the capture of Maduro by U.S. forces has circulated widely. And at the time of broadcast preparations, official confirmation from U.S. and government authorities have stated he's here and he's going to be facing this thing called what? Due process. You know that thing that they always are they're screaming out in the yard, right out in the roads. They're like, no kings, no kings, no kings. Communist dictator, king. Can you liberal mother make up your damn mind? Are we no kings or are we for kings? I mean, I'm so damn confused. Who else is confused? Raise your hand. I don't even know which way is up. Are we for the kings or are we not for the kings? Because it seems like we just had a huge no kings protest throughout the whole blessed United States of America, and today we're having protests to keep kings in power. I am confused. Absolutely confused. You officially entered the Twilight Zone. Okay, so I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's living in this Twilight Zone. I'm just making sure. I can't handle it no more. So this is insane. Did Maduro actually say Happy New Year? I think he was very happy that he realized it was just America. That it wasn't like, Iran or China that he just made a deal with coming and knocking on his door. I don't think he knew what was happening. But at the end of the day, does he know his country has just been overthrown? And he is not only out of a job, but his new residence is going to be without his wife in a cell. He's at the top of the food chain. But just imagine the intelligence he could provide regarding narco trafficking in South America and Mexico. And that's just the narco trafficking expertise. If you guys watched my video from this morning, you guys know that it's a lot bigger than that with Maduro. The Dominion machines came, some of them. There's other companies, not just Dominion, but there's like 3 different companies that came from Venezuela. And they were the ones that have sent these machines all over the world, and they were overthrowing governments with stealing elections through these machines. It's a real thing, folks, okay? It's not a crackpot theory that they kept wanting us to think about. So I truly believe that he is going to have, not only he's not narco-terrorism, but what the slimy SOBs in our politics that he's working with. There's people that are trafficking in this that are in the highest levels of our government. Believe that. And so I'm hopeful that when they debriefed him and they asked him questions, they did say he was deposed. He has been deposed. So this is going to be very interesting what information he released to our government. He has court tomorrow, Pebbles says. I'm very interested in this. This is, we've heard about stuff like this happening in our history books, but I don't remember a time when this has happened in our lifetime. This is historical. What we're living through right now is historical events in America. These events are going to go down in our history books for forever when describing the United States and some of the stuff that has gone on. But I can tell you, and I hope you guys listen and believe it, but I know people are worried about this. I'm not. I saw so many people elated to know that this thug no longer is going to dictate over him and them. And I saw pure joy, and I got to hear people's stories. And if you guys want to hear them, I would suggest social media, because mainstream media is lying to your face as always. But go on TikTok, go on YouTube, go on Benny Johnson. He pulled a lot of them off. Of people celebrating all over this country for this. And I'm hoping that maybe people that are here that shouldn't be here from Venezuela that are scared to go home. I hope maybe they can feel safe to go back home now that this man isn't in charge anymore. I was hearing that they were throwing people's sons in prison over there if they didn't want to do the kind of terroristic work that Maduro wanted them to do. He was jailing these people. That's no way to live. And there's idiots in our streets supporting this and wanting people to be living in oppression. But these are also the ones that believe in modern day slavery too, right? Because they want the Hispanics over here from Mexico, so they don't have to pay them what we're required to pay people in the States, right? They want to use them and exploit them by making them work harder for less wages. That's right, I forgot. We have those people. I forgot. Modern day slavery. I keep forgetting about that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So now it gets to the point where we are going to be moving over to the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. The Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. Many of you guys know this case inside and out. Sebastian was 15 years old when he disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and he was never seen again. Many of us, our assessment, our theories, our speculation has wildly differed, and many of us believe that either he made it home or he didn't. But no matter what, whether he made it home or didn't, the suspect, I believe, even with both of those theories, is still the same person, Katie Proudfoot. Katie Proudfoot is the mother of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and she is a woman that doesn't go without her own problems. She, and no fault of hers, right? No fault of hers. I want to be very clear on this. Katie, being as messed up as she is no fault of hers. When she was younger, she was violated as a child. We just read about an 11-year-old boy that had a horrible experience where he thought he was going to lose his life, and very thankful to be alive. And God knows what that poor little boy went through at 11 years old. But God bless him for being here, and God bless him for surviving what he went through. While Katie's was not that violent, it was still that deplorable and despicable. And while her family, everybody did the right thing, mom went to jail, it didn't change the outcome. And it sounds like she, especially being all those years ago, different protocols were in place at that time for these type of things. And I don't think that she had the proper therapy or the proper outlets when she was growing up with this and understanding what had happened to her. And I truly believe it screwed with her. It screwed up her brain. And I think that is relevant with the fact that she was attracted to older guys. She still is. It seems like one of the reasons why she had violence, why we heard that Seth would just be sleeping and he would wake up with her just on top of him, just hitting him. That was a little, that just, it just shows you that there are some things that are still left unchecked with her. And then we learned by her own omissions, or her own admissions, I should say, that she's not on any type of medication. And I don't understand how somebody that went through everything that she went through at such a young age could survive without, some type of medication to help her. Hey, Sharon, it's nice to see you. Frank? Hello, my love. Wild Wolf, it's nice to see you, love. And so we see that she's kind of been unmedicated. It seems like she wasn't going to proper therapy. She was getting complacent if she had gone to therapy or anything like that. So no matter how you look at it, I think we all look at Katie as being prime suspect number one with whatever happened to Sebastian. Now, I did see, and I do trust Jason Jensen, but Jason Jensen, I don't agree with him. He thinks Sebastian walked out the door. He thinks stress led him out the door. I don't. But that's okay. You know, I still want to speak about it. And just because he makes a suggestion or a theory, I'm not going to dog it because it's his theory. You know, I've made mistakes in my theory. A good example of that is the Melody Buzzard case. You know, my theory was wrong. And his very well may be as well. Our theory may very well be wrong. Maybe he really did walk out of the house. I mean, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it because even Katie, when she tried to meet in the middle with him going out, all she basically said is, I've seen him walk out in his socks to take the garbage out. That's one thing, right? To wear socks to take the garbage to the end of the road, but to leave the house for good? The child left barefoot? It just seems like it doesn't, make sense. But I digress. So whether your camp, he never made it home, or your camp, he made it home, I think no matter how you look at this case, we realize that Katie is pretty much prime, the prime one. And I thought it was Chris and Katie, right? I thought it was both of them. And I thought Chris is the one that helped her dispose of Sebastian. But after all of this time, he still wasn't the one that was speaking of Sebastian in past tense. It was Katie. And not only was she speaking in past tense about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, she was also omitting critical information about what she did that morning, predominantly that she left the house. For almost a month, she drilled into the public. She woke up. She went into his room. He was not there. She was frantic. She called her husband within 3 to 1 minute flat. And he immediately called law enforcement. Not one time was there ever any conversation of her getting up and leaving the home. The closest thing that came to that is when Chris said that she got up. I think it was in the either Duchess or Green Shirt interview, that she got up and looked inside the house and outside the house for Sebastian, and he wasn't there. Never once, even in that one, never saying she left the house. Clearly, she really did leave the house that morning, and we do see her on different side streets, and we could see a perfect image of her head turning like this, but she was in a rolled-up car. She didn't look like she was crying, and she didn't look frantic inside the car. But that was as close as we got. But why would she leave that out when people are trying to figure out what happened that day? It just seems odd. So we ended up, and how this all kind of sparked was several weeks ago, I started cleaning out my cell phone, and I was moving. So the way my process works, I'm not going to go too far into it, but the way my process works is I have a terabyte on my cell phone. Okay, this has a terabyte on it. That's a lot of footage. Okay, a whole terabyte's a lot of footage. And so I have a terabyte on the phone, and then I've got 2 terabytes on iCloud. So my process is, as I cover cases, usually covering 2 to 3 cases at any given time. So I have usually 2 or 3 cases in my history. And so as I close out a case, they move from one area, like say from the phone to iCloud. When the iCloud starts getting full, all of the old cases now, or closed cases where they're done, they've been tried, everything. Say, for example, like Madeline Soto, right? That case is closed. Idaho 4, that case is closed. Those things would then move from the iCloud and onto the external hard drive, freeing up, the iCloud and all of this stuff, the gunk that's in the iCloud. So that was my process. And as I was cleaning out my cell phone and moving the items over to iCloud, I started realizing I forgot about this. I forgot about this. I forgot about this. So I kept forgetting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is important. So we started out like that. And then I started reviewing. I was getting ready to start reviewing the interviews with mom and stepdad. And I'm like, we have AI now. What in the world can I do? So I started using AI to research what other AI programs there are out there that I can, put a large volume of these transcripts into it and start asking questions. And so I found one, and I paid for the Pro series, because that's what you have to do. You got to pay for the Pro. So you have more storage, you have more capabilities, you can upload bigger stuff. And so that's what I did. I paid for Pro. And it's not ChatGPT, because I did try that, and I did try ChatGPT Pro before, and I didn't really care for it. Not like this. This I like. I mean, I guess every AI, I like something that each of them do, and each of them do something different better than the other one, right? So now we've actually put 8 interviews into this machine. We've put the, from Chris and Katie, of course. And those 8 interviews are the Duchess 3.3, the Green Shirt 3.4, the Hands Video 3.7, the Duchess second interview of 3.17, Chronicles of Olivia 3.18. The 6th one is Smiley Stories World of 3.20. Then we got Terry Lynn's of 3:21. I think that's when she played it, but if I remember correctly, he had just gotten off the phone doing the thing with Smiley Stories World and then called Terry Lynn, which was really weird. And she recorded their conversation and put it out there. But she put that out there on 3:21. And then, of course, we had the Nancy Grace interview of 3:25. So all of those interviews have now been submitted into this program. And so my first question is now that I incorporated these 2 new interviews in, what did I write in here? Hold on. Let me see what I did right. I'll give you guys my exact parameters for this. This is what I wrote. I'm adding 2 more interviews. Each have date in the name. Terry Lynn was 3:20, although released 3:21. Chris called her after his podcast with Smiley Stories World. From my understanding, I will let the interview speak for itself. Secondly, I've attached Nancy Grace interview, released 3/25/2024. Please compare these 2 interviews against the other 6 interviews previously uploaded. Let me know what has changed in these newer interviews. Now that you have 8 interviews, what is the overall impression? What are law enforcement's next moves, and who would they be honing in on as a suspect? At this point, does it look like a crime has been committed? What will law enforcement be evaluating with these interviews? What would they consider as red flags, and why? You know what I'm saying? That sounds pretty interesting, right? That's what we want to know. If you guys agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it should have been something different for this phase, put a 2 in the chat. And welcome everyone that's over in the horizontal chat. Thank you so much. We got 51 viewers over there. I truly do appreciate your time. Perfect. We got a 1 already coming in. Thank you, Mama. It's nice to see you, love. Emma. Hello, Emma. It's nice to see you, love bug. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. The real me. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. I thought it was good. Happy New Year. Aw, thank you. Okay, I think that's good. So this is what it came out with. We won't go. We'll go over this briefly, and then we'll see. Oh, Lulu, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing that. And everybody else too. Sidetrack. It's nice to see you. Pammy Bear. Big hugs and loves. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. It's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so what it says is what changed in the newer interviews. The polygraph story tightens and exposes the earlier lie. OMG. In the earlier interview in online Q&A, Chris answered yes and passed when asked, "Did you both if you both took a polygraph," allowing the listeners to assume he personally took and passed one. Terry Lynn confronts him with the screenshot. He admits he never took one and only meant a polygraph was taken by Katie. Remember that? And then on Nancy 325, he now openly says he has not taken a polygraph. Katie confirms she has and allegedly passed. And he claims Ellie told him he didn't need one due to his whereabouts, right? The polygraph narrative shifts from implied clearance to damage control and word games. That is a big change from the earlier, simpler, "we've been vetted and cleared" claims. Yep, Medic Biker, busted. Absolutely. Aw, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. And if you find this interesting, please clip and pass it along. West Virginia Holla Girl, Narita, me and you. It's nice to see you. Good evening. Guess what the other one was? The dogs and scent trail story becomes more hedged. Earlier interviews, strong, confident claims about multiple dog hits around the house, barn, and to the retention pond. We all know that, right? We've been talking about it for days, brought up Gray Hughes maps and everything. Nancy Grace, when pressed against Ellie's statements that the dogs did not hit outside the home, Chris backs in a more qualified story. From day one, there was 5 dogs, then dogs from all over. Certain percentage of them tend to go toward the same spot, the retention pond. He emphasizes scent dogs, not cadaver dogs, and admits cadaver dogs have not hit on anything from what they know of. The original confident canine hits, and trust me, this has taken a lot of our time in speaking of. The narrative is now softer and more technical when somebody knowledgeable challenges him. Because we've been hearing from law enforcement that these so-called hits were false positives. 3. You guys are going to be hitting these because you're going to be like, yep, because these are all the things we talked about. Cameras and security. Those things kept, those details kept shifting. It's the 1-year anniversary of her sister's death today. Aww. Who? Am I missing somebody? Did I miss somebody saying that they're having a bad day? If anybody's having a bad day, I'm really sorry. It sounds like somebody's having a really bad day. I'm really sorry. Hugs and loves. Hugs and loves. Oh, Sonia. Aw. We love you. I wish I could give you something more than this. I could do a cabbage patch if it'll make you feel better. I mean, what is that? The moonwalk? Oh, no. I wish I could make you feel better. I can do a moonwalk for you. Well, I'm trying to make her laugh. I wish I would have known. I can't stand it. All the pain. All the pain. Aww. Well, we'll just take a few moments and let's give her a few moments. Well, I'm just trying to perk her up. I mean, I know it doesn't help at all. And Women's Warriors in the chat, if you guys have not gone over to my posts, we just posted something from Women's Warrior. It was a tribute to Lily and Jack Sullivan. I hope you guys all went over there and looked at it. It was very beautiful. Aw, hey, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. Ashley, it's nice to see you. Yeah, I wish I could hug. Well, you know what? I'm going to see Sonia. I'm going to see Sonia and The Real Me Too for an entire week. So that'll be fun. We need to figure out something that just us three girls can do together. Or any of my mods. So Bee Betty and Pebbles, if you guys want to come, let me know. We'll make room for you. But we're going to have like at least one girls' evening, you know. So earlier interviews repeated emphasis that they had no cameras at the house. With Nancy Grace, Katie confirms no burglar alarm, which is a lie because we know that house was wired for ADT. The burglar alarm does not go away. You just can't remove it. I mean, it stays in the house. It may not be monitored, but it's not going away. Again, my father I know a lot about a lot. My dad used to be an electrician. He did really well for himself. He was we had a security business where back in the 90s and 2000s, all he did was put in these new security systems. It was much different back in the day. These were, you remember those sound, it was a sound system, an intercom, and a security system all in one. Okay, so I'm very familiar. I may not be an expert in this, but I'm very familiar with different types of security systems because my dad taught me everything he knew, okay, or he tried to, whether it's stuck or not. But I do know that they have a box in a closet somewhere in many of these cases. Yeah, exactly. And so I don't believe that there's no security system at all, no burglar alarm, maybe no video, but I know for a fact there's a burglar alarm in there because the prior, we have the sign from the prior owners. It says ADT, protected by ADT in the front of you can see the little contacts on their windows. So this idea that she doesn't have any type of burglar alarm in the house, I don't believe it. So maybe no ring, but admits outside and outside lights, including 2 over the garage, always on, and that they had glossed over before. And the Terry Lynn, when asked directly, why the hell do you have a house with no cameras? Chris now refuses to confirm or deny if there's cameras here or not, calling it nobody's business. They move from definite no cameras to an evasive about cameras once scrutiny increased. So you guys have all been picking up on this weird thing about the cameras. Well, so is the system. The system is saying that's not good. The work, the alibis, the movements after Sebastian went missing in earlier interviews. I was out of town working in Memphis and vague about returns. Nancy Grace pins him down, says Memphis St. Jude construction, which is about 3 hours and 37 minutes away from doorstep to doorstep. Betty, are you going to be adding America's Most Wanted in KP's solo interview? I might. The solo interview. Yeah, we're still working through it. I'm not done building this. Hey, Tulips, Marilyn, it's nice to see you. Yeah, I'm not ready. I love your content, but I just haven't had a lot of time to. Oh, you're okay, Michelle. I appreciate you being here, hon. I don't think it is a hard one to figure out either, but you know, we still haven't found Sebastian, you know. It's like it just is weird because like Melody Buzzard, you know, people just stumble across things, you know, and in this case, nobody's stumbling across him. It's more involved than him just walking away or him, his mom just doing something and tossing him out. I mean, this is, not good. This is something else. So when Nancy Grace starts pinning him down, he admits he came home multiple times prior to February, but then left early February and didn't return until the morning he was told Sebastian, or the afternoon he was told Sebastian was missing. And he says Ellie told him not to give exact dates, which we know is bullcrap. He knew not to give exact dates because he didn't want to give specificity that he could not move around on. When you have vagueness, you got places to move in your story. Nancy also extracted the bombshell that Katie and Chris left the home and went back to Memphis while Sebastian was still missing, which had not been front and center in earlier mainstream media interviews because they were there. People were complaining about them not searching, but they were there. So newer interviews expose more opportunity for him to have been in the area before the disappearance and reveal his choice to leave the search area quickly. So just something to consider when it comes to that. Now, the fifth issue that the system has with all of this, again, is the CPS prior violence and history details are pushed but denied. Hey, Cinderella, it's nice to see you. What did you say, woman's warrior? Let's see what you got here. There needs to be some prevention because parents think they can just get rid of... I know. Well, some of them don't, like we've got a lot of parents going to jail, but it's these ones that they hide, the child well. Those are the hardest ones because, especially this one where Chris leaves out of town and was he trailed? Was he followed? And it doesn't seem like he was. And it's very concerning. Like, how can you let somebody leave town for that long period of time without being followed or tailed? Anyways, Terry Lynn pressed hard. The belt incident with Sebastian, one SWAT years ago, and CPS case triggered when Sebastian told the story at school. Prior CPS matter in New Mexico and the temporary protective order with multiple ex-wives. Chris insisted nothing bad happened to any of them and that any allegation would be a lie. The Navy service alleged abuse in the Navy, alleged domestic violence. He categorically denies ever laying a hand on a woman or becomes angry and defensive. The subject matter, violent CPS control, prior protective orders, is new and much darker than in the first 6 interviews, even though he denies it all. Attitude towards Seth, the GoFundMe, the search, the vigils. This is going to be interesting. Earlier interviews, more surface level unity, were all searching for Sebastian. Terry Lynn call. Chris derides Seth's GoFundMe and reward, says he said has been misrepresented but refuses to clarify or apologize, admits he and Katie are no longer on the same page with Seth and that they are not talking to him regularly. Gives strained explanation for missing multiple vigils, blaming Ellie's presence in the home, and becomes very hostile when she questions that. Newer interviews showed fractured family dynamic, resentment towards Seth, and self-focused defensiveness instead of unified focus on Sebastian. The 7th is the emotional presentation and control issues. Earlier TV spots, Chris is controlled, somewhat polished. Pushed the vetted, clear, no foul play message. With Terry Lynn, he is openly hostile, condescending, swearing, name-calling, and trying to dominate, redirect the conversation, move on, next question, I'm tired. He repeatedly minimizes serious question as immaterial and refuses to straight answer mattress, camera, ex-wives, CPS specifics. On Nancy Grace, he's more restrained but still slick, choosing legalistic phrasing, leaning heavily on Ellie told me I didn't need a polygraph. We've been cleared. These 2 later interviews make his controlling, image-driven, and evasive tendencies much clearer than the first 6.
Damn.
Woo-hoo! So, it's giving me an overall. Oh, hey, Sasha, it's nice to see you. Oh, is Mama of 9.5 here? He is. He is. So even the computer. Yes, that's what I was saying. Like it's kind of hilarious. Well, you know what I think is really interesting is that a lot of you guys picked up a lot of these things. When we were doing all of this stuff together anyways, you guys were picking up on these things already. You know what I'm saying? It's just nice to see that, because you guys aren't professionals. You guys are using your common sense. And it's just one of those things where it helps you understand that you're not crazy, right? That you're actually using your common sense. And look at this, freaking AI agrees with you. I mean, it could have been a toss. It could have been a toss, right? But we even have AI that agrees with us. I mean, that's some good stuff right there. That's good stuff. So you guys, for those that have picked up on all this stuff before that, I mean, give you guys selves an applause. I mean, seriously, you guys have done an amazing job. Oh, thank you, Pat. Oh, I love that little lady. Ah, hearts to you, Pat. Hearts to you. I hope you're doing well. But again, I just think this is just, it really does. All of this goes like literally to the heart of all of this. And it's stuff that you guys have been picking up on a long time. And we all have. We've been talking about this stuff from the beginning. But just hearing all of this kind of coming together, and we're not even done yet. We're not even done yet. We're building this, confidently not crazy. Yes, that's it. Certifiably not crazy. Excuse me. Yes, Judy, that's it. That's what we're talking about right there, babe. That's it. We're not crazy, folks. Remember, they had us so confused. We didn't know which way was up. They created such a circus and a shit show, right? Trying to confuse us and make us and make us not believe what we were seeing with our own eyes and mind. Yes. Yes. So across all 8, the core frame stays the same. Sebastian last definitively heard at 10 p.m. The thud in the room. Oh, thank you, Deanna. Oh, I'm glad you came back for your birthday cruise and you weren't... You are, I mean, even now, like, we just got back, Deanna, and I'm sitting here watching TV, and there's a woman that jumped into the water after her child went overboard, like at one of the ports. It didn't sound like the boat was moving, thank God, but she jumped in after her child. And then another one I just heard was lost at sea. So we're really glad you made it back home to us, babe. I do swim well, but I'm not coming to get you in the middle of the ocean, okay? I love you to death, but if you get lost in the middle of the ocean, you're just going to have to be shark food, okay? Somebody else going to have to come get you, babe. I hope you like Donald J. Trump and our, what do they call them? The people out in the water. Our water crew. I don't know. The Navy. No, it's not the Navy. What's the other one? The people that do the water, the border. I can't remember. Somebody's gonna say it, and then I'm gonna be like, "That's it. That's it." I almost got lucky. Oh boy. You almost fell over, huh? That's what, Coast Guard. That's what I'm talking about. I knew you guys would know it. I knew you'd know it. Peggy, you're quick on that draw. That's That's it. Coast Guard. Coast Guard. So, oh, wrong one. Hold on. Let me get this pulled back up again. So the core things is that, they definitely heard the last noise at 10 p.m., the thud in the room. Katie on the couch, later on the phone with Chris until midnight, then creating dogs and going to bed without rechecking on Sebastian. The 6 a.m. discovery, he is gone, no signs of forced entry, all shoes in the house, no alarms or cameras. That stability benefits them superficially. They do not, it says that stability benefits them superficially. They do not widely change the base timeline, but details that emphasize shift once challenged. The polygraph, the dogs, the cameras and lights, the CPS history, who is cleared, presence at vigils, relationship with Seth, and how much they are actually on the ground searching. Behavioral and content red flags. Taking all 8 interviews together, the standout issues are as follows. Overclaiming clearance. Repeated statements that Ellie has vetted and cleared them and found no foul play, which is rarely language investigators give families that early. Later, when pressed, Chris falls back. That's what they told us without specifics. Polygraph misrepresentation implies he took and passed a poly, then conceded that he has not, and blaming how the question was worded is a classic credibility erosion. Anger and contempt under pressure. Terry Lynn's phone call, how quickly he turns to insults, control, and shut down when faced with strong questioner he cannot manage. Leaving the search area, the decision for both to leave the home, to go back to Memphis while Sebastian is missing, and the rationalization for missing vigils will read poorly to investigators. So this is why I'm saying there's no way that these law enforcement or investigators are not looking squarely at Chris and Katie. Minimizing prior concern, dismissing any allegations from ex-wife, CPS, or military history as lies without nuance, while also acknowledging at least 2 CPS matters, is another credibility flag. Another credibility flag. Collectively, the 8 interviews do not prove a crime, but they strongly suggest 1, a household with prior conflict and CPS involvement, a stepfather very focused on managing perceptions, not on transparent cooperation, and 3, a narrative that becomes more hedged the more details the questioning gets. Interesting. Hey, Tammy, Nicole, it's nice to see you. Passion Flower, Tanya, hello, loves. I hope you're doing well. Interesting, huh? Those 3 things. This thing's spot on. How law enforcement is likely to view this. 1, does it look like a crime has been committed? From Ellie's perspective, legally, probatively, the interviews alone still do not establish a specific crime. No admission, no described acts of violence, no concrete disposal details. They do reinforce that the walk off barefoot in the dark and vanished without a trace story is the only proffered explanation, and that explanation is weak and increasingly inconsistent with details, folks. Practically, given Sebastian's age, autism, and the exhaustive search with 0 trace, most investigators would already be working under an assumption of high likelihood of foul play, even if they can't prove it. Let me repeat that again. Given Sebastian's age, autism, and the extensive and exhaustive search with zero trace, most investigators would already be working under an assumption of high likelihood of foul play, even if they cannot yet prove it. Okay? These interviews push them closer to that view, not away from it. So everything that we've been saying related to how they're acting on these cameras, even the system is saying this is all types of wrong. And yes, law enforcement will be and is paying attention to this. Hey, Lisa Ann, Magic Star, it's nice to see ya. So now, two, who would they be honing in on? Purely from what is in these interviews and how they are handled, the natural focus point for Ellie would be Christopher Proudfoot. He's the first at the top of the list, folks. Let me see if I can put this up here on the screen. I don't know if I can or not, but let me try. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. That's the phone. Okay, we're not doing the phone number. Not be a browser. This would be a screen capture. Okay. Oh, thank you, Donna. I'm so happy I found your channel. Well, I am so happy you've been here for 9 months. 10 months. Good gracious. You put up with my bullshit. All that time. All right, let's see what I got here. Where is my Google? Where's my Word? There it is, right there. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, you're going to have to give me just a second because I got to put this up on the side for our folks here on. Okay, so we need to. That's my stomach growling. My stomach is growling. All right, here we go. There you go, you guys, on the vertical. There you go. Can you guys see all that? No, you cannot. There we go. I'm just going to cover up my big old face, my cranium. All right, there. We should have it on the vertical and we should have it on the horizontal. So I want to read this because the first person that this thing brings up, I can take this down now. And I can take this down now. Okay. So the first thing it brings up, it says Christopher Proudfoot, motive avenues, prior CPS issues, prior relationship, tension with Seth, and custody, statements about not wanting Sebastian around his daughter, raised in other interviews, alluded to again here. Opportunities, repeated trips home before February 26, construction knowledge. Construction knowledge. They picked up that. Comments about how concrete and driveways work, leaving the area shortly after his disappearance. Right there, folks. It picked up on that. Wow. Credibility. Polygraph and misrepresentation, aggressive pushback, heavy spin around, dog hits, and Ellie clearance. But this is why I think we all looked at Chris originally. I really do. But when you really look at Katie, she was the one that was with Sebastian by herself. So let's look at Katie. They've got Katie next, and it says she presents more consistently and less aggressively, and she has passed a polygraph test per her account. Still, as the last confirmed adult in the house with Sebastian, she remains central. Ellie would closely examine sleep depth, dog crated, whether any door chimes existed, why she never rechecked on him, and any digital phone activity that contradicts her reading for school or phone with Chris narrative. Environmental and others. Ellie would also keep looking at neighbors, nearby workers, anyone with access to the house or the house code, any adult tied to construction or the retention pond area, but nothing in these interviews shift more suspicion onto any unknown stranger than onto the household. Nothing in these interviews shifts more suspicion onto an unknown stranger than onto the household. So they're saying, based on everything, with these 8 interviews, they're picking up enough to say that we need to be looking at the household. These 8 interviews, if anything, increase the likelihood that Chris in particular is treated as a prior subject for quiet, sustained scrutiny. Priority subject for quiet, restraint, or sustained scrutiny. So 3, let me go ahead and move this off now that we got that done. Let's see what else. We're getting down, I think, to the last stretch of this. What will LE be evaluating in these interviews? Investigators mine statements for consistency over time, timeline, exact time of calls, bedtime, sound at 10 p.m., dogs crated, wake up, 911, time Chris was notified, changes in details such as camera and lights, dog hits, CPS history, travel dates to and from Memphis, any drifts in cataloged. Any drift is cataloged. Any drift is cataloged. So they're saying if anything changes, it's automatically cataloged. Leakage and minimized language. Overconfidence. We've been cleared. No foul play. He'll never be found. Type language. Technical knowledge. How thick concrete. Gosh. Guys, it might be. Somebody might be right about this concrete. Technical knowledge. How thick concrete must be to bury a body. Who would know that? And unnecessary explanations will be flagged as potential leakage, even if they are theoretically just correcting misinformation. Behavioral indicators such as anger, contempt, control when questioned, as in Terry Lynn, versus true distress about Sebastian. Priority choices, leaving home, missing vigils, worrying about YouTubers more than staying accessible to LE and searchers. Corroboration targets. From these interviews, LE has a shopping list of things to verify or disprove. 1. Work records and logs and travel from St. Jude job and RV park stays. CPS records in Tennessee and New Mexico and prior temporary protective orders filings and any military disciplinary records. Polygraph records for Katie and any communications about offering, declining one for Chris. Purchase, placement of any new mattress, furniture, or flooring. Any post-incident changes inside the home, especially in the kids' room and garage. We believe that there was a cleaning out of his room post-incident, so this might be a problem and why they declined to have the America's Most Wanted interview inside their home. I've always believed something changed, but we're also hearing they don't stay in the home anymore, which is another major indicator that something happened inside that home. Whether any surveillance actually exists on or near the residence, regardless of what they claim publicly. Red flags to LE are not proof, but each one becomes a lead to corroborate with independent evidence. So that is kind of where we are with the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And I've got to tell you, hearing some of the information that the system is pulling out is refreshing because, again, we always wonder, Are we on the right track? Are we looking at this properly? Are we analyzing it properly? And I know that a lot of this stuff we've all brought up. My audience has brought it up. My audience has sent me just literally about every single one of those talking points. Those are things that you, the audience, and other content creators raised. So I feel confident about this. And as you guys find out, the more we plug in, the more information, the way that this is really starting to see and hone in on the key factors, even some things that maybe we've overlooked or didn't emphasize. Because one of the major things is that at the beginning, I felt Chris was the target from the Green Short interview, and it's like, no, that's not the case. He wasn't using past tenses. It was Katie. He wasn't the one leaving or omitting information. It was Katie. You kept hearing, from these first early on interviews, it was Katie kept being brought up. Now, I think because Chris is putting his neck out there, maybe he's doing it intentionally to take some focus off Katie. Potentially, but he's throwing himself out there and doing some really crazy stuff that even our system is saying, hey, I mean, he was like the first one that the system, and maybe we need to look at that angle, because everybody's saying he was in Memphis, but even the system is saying, look, he's the one with the most. I mean, even his mother seems very docile, which we would most likely take that to be true had it not been for Seth telling us truly how Katie is behind closed doors. And you cannot tell me that her waking up in the middle of the night and beating a man that's sleeping, in bed, you can't tell me that she's just not going to do that anymore. That all of a sudden she just stops doing that. She obviously has some major problems that have gone untreated. Really, how do we know the mother was the last? That's a good question. We don't. Maybe Chris truly was home that weekend, and there, because she's always been so adamant to make sure he was far away from that house, and that's one of the reasons why, for me, early on in this case, I always thought Chris was there, and I thought she was covering for him. Because they were so adamant, literally out the gate, to confirm he wasn't here. And it's like, this doesn't make sense, because he seems like the most likely person to do this. Hey, Dina, I hope you're doing well. Thank you. But Chris does. I think Katie's playing the doughy-eyed dingbat very well. But listen, she's an MMA fighter. She's military trained. Okay, she knows how to play games. I absolutely believe she knows how to play games. I think she's been very manipulative her whole entire life. I think that is her game. I really do. I think that whole, innocent, oh, well, oh my gosh, sweet, talk so sweet, da da da, da da da. I think that is her stick. I really do. So, she's smarter than people think. I absolutely do believe that. Guys, do not forget, we are doing an event in February for the 2-year anniversary milestone for Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, out in front of Sumner County Sheriff. I will be there all week, but the main event for everybody to show up for is February 26th on the 2-year milestone, which is a Thursday. I would like to make sure all of you guys are there. We need at least 100 bodies out there with signs. We're going to be waving. We're not going to be cussing. We're not going to be angry. We're going to be there representing Sebastian Rogers. We're going to be honk for Sebastian, lock their asses up. He has not forgotten. Whatever you guys want to put on signs, if you want to make extra signs, please do it. You want to have your children out there. It will be a family event. We're not cussing, not doing anything. If you're going to plan on being there for more than a half an hour, please consider bringing up a fold-up chair. So if you need to sit down, or you bring your children and they need to sit down, you'll have a place to sit down and rest your legs. If you have mobility issues, be sure you bring the chairs. We'll be lined up all up and down the main streets. I'm hoping to do, if we have enough people, to do a full T, going all the way from the courthouse to the sheriff's office, and maybe down the main street up to the sheriff's office, in between the courthouse and the sheriff's department. Again, if possible, I'm hoping that we get our number of people, but I feel like if we get enough, 30 or 40 people will make an impression, but I really do want 100 people there. If we can get 100 people there, that will really show the whole community how important this young man is, and hopefully maybe invigorate law enforcement. We beat him up, you know. I will never be respectful. I mean, I'll be respectful to Mr. Snuggle Struggles while I'm out there representing on Sebastian's terms, but when it comes to me, I have no respect for that man. But I hope he's not the one investigating this case. His detectives are. So maybe if we can just reinvigorate some oomph back into them, you know, some oomph. But I don't know. I might just piss them all off. I don't really care. I'm going up there to be heard. I hope they allow me my constitutional rights. We know that Sumner County doesn't believe in constitutional rights or the law or anybody or anything else. You know, they think they make the law and write the law, and that the law just bends and turns anytime they say so. You know, they've been arresting a lot of people that don't break the law in Tennessee and letting the ones that do break the law go. That's kind of our experience as it has been in the state of Tennessee for quite some time. And so I pray to God that Sumner County keeps their damn hands, their muggy, sticky, disgusting, foul hands off Bullhorn Betty. But if you don't, well, I guess we're locked and loaded, right? We got an attorney on call. So you do you, okay? That's all I got to say for Sumner County. We got attorneys on lock. So you're more than welcome to do whatever you want, but I can promise you this next time I'm not going to be so nice. So I'd keep your damn hands off me. But again, you do you. I'll keep not breaking the law. We'll see who keeps breaking the law and who keeps not breaking the law. So far, Betty is 0 to Sumner County breaking the law at least 6 times. Did you hear me? They violated my rights 6 blessed times. They broke the law 6 blessed times. So it's Betty 0, Sumner County 6. Keep your fucking hands off me. Let me be very clear to Sumner County. Don't touch me. All right, now that we got that out of the... way. Hopefully we'll have a better event, but we are utmost prepared for whatever they choose to throw at us, okay? This is exactly why we haven't gone anywhere in almost a year, is because we save money like what when it comes to this case? This case almost broke this channel, right? By the grace of God, we are still here. But there's been a lot of things that have been thrown at Bullhorn Betty since this channel. And I have just got to say that we are very blessed that somebody up above sees the good that we do and keeps this channel alive each and every day. Because we know if it was up to the evil and the bad doers, this channel would have been gone years ago. So we're very, very, very thankful for that. We still coming for you, bitches! All right, Sonia, I'm done. All right, I'm done cussing. All right. So we got Sunday and happy Saturday and happy Sunday. This is for you, Miss Robin. This is for you. Happy New Year and new blessing you. I was going to say blessing and blessed. Blessed. Woo-hoo! Sonia's going to have to call out for work tomorrow. Actually, guys, don't forget to say a prayer for our beautiful Sonia tonight. I didn't realize today was going to be a rough day for her, but I'm glad you guys came out and got to hang out with me today. We'll be back. As you guys saw, this I'm going to try to keep this up every week. You guys see the calendar. We're already set for all of our morning shows this week, okay? We're covering any breaking news that's going on this week. If we have time to cover some of our cases that we've been covering or have updates, we will do it in the morning. The 2 mornings we're going at 6 a.m. Did you guys hear me? The 2 mornings that we're going at 6 a.m. is going to be Tuesday and Thursday. So 9, 6, 9, 6, 9. Okay? Yay! So now you guys have a schedule. It's going to be 9, 6, 9, 6, 9. 9 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., okay? So there's going to be 2 days you guys have to wake up ridiculously early. If you're here, then you're here. If you're not here, don't forget to watch the replay crew and hit that damn thumbs up button, okay? Don't make me go hostile. We don't like violence up in here, but I'll slap out. No, I'm just... I'm getting away with murder over here now that Sonia's not that we want her to be, in a bad way, but I don't have to worry about somebody, peeking through the mask. Is 2:15 too early? I would, hey Mal, it's nice to see you. Thank you for subscribing. I would do a 2:15. I have done a 2:15. When we were working on Sebastian Rogers, people were they had me on all, because you never knew when we were going live. If I found something, I was going live. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, it could be midnight. It didn't matter. If something was going on in that case, like we were up in the, I was all kinds of messed up. I didn't have a car. I wasn't sleeping well. I was up and down. I think that was the first time I've ever been manic, highs and lows, because I didn't know which way I was going, right? I was home all the time. It was the first time I've ever been home like that. I had never been home. But being home for that 4 months, 5 months, it slowed me way down. I was always go, 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 go. Every month we were doing something. And then it started hitting, I couldn't go nowhere. And then I lost my walk. It was a pain in the ass. It was all kinds of messed up. But we survived, but things have just slowed down, and it's trying to get that machine going like it used to. And we still have, court stuff still lingering out here. Once this last little bit of court stuff is done, we're off to the races. Actually, I may think of go ahead and consider putting everything in store. I'm ready to sell. Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I can't stand my house. I'm ready to sell it. I've made the decision. You guys know I made the decision almost a year ago to sell this house, and I've been trying to tough it out. I was gonna rent it out for all of 2025, and that was before all this court crap started happening. So that put a crink in the show, the movements, because I was going to always be back here for 2026 for the 2026 elections. And then we're still here, and then I decided I'm going to be moving out of here 2020. I can't do it. I don't think I'm going to be able to stay here until 2028. I can tell you that. It's just time for I'm ready to go. So I don't know at what point I'm gonna pull the plug and just start putting everything in storage and start working on selling the house. I'm not sure, but I'm just done with this house. It's got a new roof on it. It still needs a lot of work around here. All the work we did, it was ruined. But like even today, I was outside and the dog was out there. I'm going to have to sue these people next door to me. So while we were out there, I hear this break in this thing. And one of those big branches all the way at the top of the tree. Now, granted, it hit the fence, but it could have damaged my fence again. It didn't. It fell on my side of the fence, of course. It seems like all the shit falls on my side of the fence. But while I'm out there playing with Delilah, a big branch from way 20 feet up just comes crashing down in my yard. Like if Delilah was on that side of the fence, she could have been hurt. I could have been hurt. And I'm just done. I'm just kind of done at this point. I'm just ready to rip the rest of the fence down. You know, however it is, as is, just get me the hell out. Oh shit, get me the hell out of here and let's just, move on. So I don't know. I'm going to try to tough it out until 2026 or until the elections and stuff, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I really don't. I'm done. Yeah, I'm not going to Tennessee. I'm staying right here in Florida. And it's because of taxes. It's because I've got my property taxes. I'm working very hard to try to get property taxes eliminated here. I think we're going to be closest to we're ever going to be successfully as we're ever going to be coming soon. And then Byron Donalds is going to be our governor. And I've got some great tax savings just on because I've owned my houses since I was 24. So we have a Save Our Homes credit, which gives me a whole bunch of credits. So like, for example, people around me are paying $2,000 or $2,500 in taxes, and my taxes are like $630 a year. That's for my Save the Homes credit. So, and the fact that they can only increase my stuff, 3% per year, no matter what. And I bought this house for like, I can't remember, 23, 25, 33, something like that, small amounts of money. So it's going to take them a long time to get me up there to where we are. So it's going to save me a lot of money. That's all I got to say. So I'm staying here in Florida. I just don't know if I'm going to move further north. I want to move closer to the state line. I would love to go to Tallahassee but I don't know. Oh, she's here. She's in her bed. I'm looking at her. She's a good little girl. She didn't like the car though. No, what she doesn't like is she doesn't like being without me. So it's like we're always together. And then when we get in the car, we're not together. She's on her seat. I'm on my seat. And she hates that. So the whole time she's over there, she's just staring right at me, waiting for the moment that I tell her she can come over and sit on my lap, right? So if we were driving, she'd want to be on my lap, which she can't have, So I've got to have her in a chair. And so she doesn't, so she just whimpers. Just to make sure I know she's sitting over there by herself. She's sitting over there. What? We're talking about you. Come here. Oh, the baby. Come. Yeah, she knows we're talking about her. See, I love my mommy. My mommy spoils me rotten. But I spoil my mommy rotten too, because I give her all my loves. And I steal all her loves. I give her all my loves, and I steal all her loves. Yes, and I'm still such a cutie pie. I'm still such a cutie pie. All right. Oh, her tail always grabs the thing and yanks it out of my ear. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of where we're at. Interesting stuff. I'm going to keep plugging this shit in. I'm sorry. I am. I love the reports I'm getting out. I feel like it's hitting on the things that it needs to hit on. It's really pointing things at Chris right now. I wonder if that'll change as more stuff is plugged in, especially when we start plugging more, Katie interviews into the system. Will it start picking up on her? This is going to be the area where Chris starts taking over all the interviews and hating on people and just screaming and whatever. So we're going to go through all of that. But I thought this is really interesting that we picked up on all of this stuff and it's picking up on stuff. Now, granted, we're learning some new stuff too. So it's not, and it's keeping it very focused on the interviews. And I love that. Because those interviews, and not only that, the Freudian slips, the leakage and stuff like that, guys, this is going to keep picking up on those things. I have not put web sleuths in yet. That's going to be another bombshell one, because that's another one that was long. That was one that him and Seth were going at it. I feel like when he gets frustrated, he's more susceptible to that leakage. So I really, really am hopeful that we'll get some more stuff in here. I like him being my neighbor, but in all fairness, I can't. Like I told him, he can come visit when I move. I'll make sure I have a spare bedroom because I always get a 3-bedroom. I will never get a house with less than 3 beds. I'll get a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, but typical houses are 3-2s. So that's what I'm looking for, even as a single female, because I don't ever want to be stuck in a home where I can't sell it, right? And if I got a single bedroom house, how many people are really looking for a single bedroom house? Very little. How many people are looking for a 2-1? Very little. So 3-2s are typically the houses that are the most desirable. I'm in a 3-1 right now, and I'd like to have a 3-2 with a pool and a garage, and I believe I should be able to get that. Trade. I shouldn't have to have a mortgage. If you guys notice anything about me, I don't like payments. I hate payments. I live within my means. I save the money. If I need to buy something, I buy it free and clear. That's the way I do things. Saves me a buku shit ton of money on interest and everything else. And even this house here, I've lived here for a freaking decade. Do you know if I were paying house insurance, you're talking about I saved $20,000. I had to put a roof on my house, right? Because the roof blew off in a hurricane. Even without insurance, I had to put a roof on this house. It was $14,000. I am still ahead, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. Still ahead $6,000 of what I would have paid an insurance company. $6,000 I've saved myself, even with a hurricane claim. I'm just saying. Even if I put the fence back up out there, I still saved thousands and thousands of dollars by having this house paid for free and clear and not having the insurance on it. Now, would I do that if the house was more expensive than what I paid for it? No, I would always have insurance. I'd have at least, replacement cost of, once you own the house outright, you can basically custom make your insurance because it's really whatever needs to make you comfortable. You're not having to deal with a lender. So I would only want, a replacement cost of what it's going to be. If I own it outright, what is it going to really be for me to tear a house down and rebuild a new house 3-2? If it's going to cost, $120,000, $160,000, $180,000, that's what the insurance that I would be getting for it. The roof, I remember how crazy that one was to get done. Well, because I was quoted, $13,000 and change, almost $14,000. But by the time they had it all done and they did the fascia board, they cut out all this fascia board. I guess when I signed the dotted line, I didn't realize I was, $30,000. I've heard of some like that. Yeah, Lisa. I've heard of some like that. It sucks. I will not lie. I mean, being out that kind of money, but look at you. I'm sure you probably had insurance and you still had to pony up $30,000. So even with me, I whether you have insurance or not, you're still on the hook for a lot of expenses when it comes to your house. So, but the biggest expense is the roof, and we've got I think that the metal up there is 30 or 40 year metal. Up there, warranty wise. So that's the very big expense, and it's a very new roof. So that's going to be a selling feature, but we'll see. I'm just ready. I'm ready to kind of, venture out. I mean, I stay home so much. I just rather be in a place I feel more comfortable kind of lounging around, Wouldn't hurt to have a pool. I'm just saying, I don't really go anywhere. So I need to find a home that has all of my wants and must-haves, I'd like to have, if I could, have like a little exercise room for myself. I'd like to have a pool, just stuff. But I don't want to pay anything different than here because I don't want payments. So we'll see how that all works out. Probably going to be here another 40 years. Who knows? Might be dragging my poor body out of this house in another 40 years, and I'll be, all I wanted was a pool. I never got my pool. My bucket list was more of a banana peel and slipping in the bucket. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys, I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, folks. We don't do 6 a.m. until Tuesday, okay? So 9 o'clock tomorrow, 9 a.m., be there, be square, And I think we're gonna set up I think we're talking about setting up a Discord so you guys can hang out and have a place to chat during the day. So you guys can, I know you guys like each other and you guys are friendly in the chat, but you guys can only be in the chat with each other when we're all live. So I found out that with Discord, we could all kind of be hanging out in a chat room together, chatting about our day and shooting the breeze and hanging out with one another. I didn't know that. So we're going to probably be rolling that out in the next, I don't know, however long it takes me to put all the blah in, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And we're just going to pray that AI gives me some really strong suggestions that'll really put us on, have everything configured correctly. Because I don't know about these. I'm not techie. I know you guys think I'm techie because I'm over here and you guys see me on your screen and it's like, hey, Betty. I'm not techie. When I have technical problems, I want to break my computer. Okay. I hate technical problems. That's why you guys didn't see me Saturday. Okay. Saturday was one of those days. Okay. I was doing the breaking news Maduro. Okay. I woke up and I'm sitting here. I'm reading all this stuff. So I come in here. I didn't even realize I had my microphone turned off. So I recorded this 6-minute intro that was going to go on TikTok and go on to YouTube to get you guys geared up for the show. And so I'm like, okay, well, it was taking forever to download to my phone because that's where I do the editing. And so I go and get the shower. I come out. It's still not downloaded. It took a freaking hour to download those 2 videos. Okay, an hour. And I go and plug it into the editing system to pump it out. And I figured, okay, I'll just be late for the show today. No big deal. Not the first time. Hey, Believe, it's nice to see you, love. Not the first time I've been late to the show, right? So I figured, okay, well, if I'm late and I put together a video, people will understand. I pull it up. No blessed sound. You just see me going. And right when I felt that emotion kind of take over me, where you're ready to reach over and grab the computer and just Saturday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. You're going to Laura's. You're going to Laura's. You're going to Laura's. Guess what? If you don't want me to kill my computer and you guys never see me again, I will see you on Sunday. Thank you. That's exactly what happened. And then I felt guilty. I'm like, I didn't even get to see my people this morning. You guys, I do miss you. When I don't come on here, don't think, I know you guys miss me, but I actually miss you because I go over to Laura's and I'm just off, because I'm used to always being here on a Saturday morning before I go to Laura's. And I'm used to you guys, whatever. Even on bad days, you guys cheer me up. And I just felt off. Like everything was just off on Saturday. And it was because I didn't go live. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'm pretty sure I would have been cussing. I mean, I was like, my body was hot. Like I was angry. Like waiting an hour to have 12 minutes of stuff move from here onto my cell phone should never have taken an hour. I mean, it should have taken 5 minutes tops. It was the transfer from iPhone and a MacBook. You hit a button, you send stuff to your phones, right? So it shouldn't have been that big of a deal. It took an hour. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You guys are worth it. I'll wait an hour. We'll be a little late. No big deal. Yeah. It wasn't working. As soon as that happened, I shut the computer down. I kind of slammed the top of it, and I realized that we're not opening it back up today. And I went over to Laura's, and within a few minutes of being at Laura's, I felt much better. I did. I felt a lot better. But I still kind of was a little ticked off that I didn't get to... because Maduro was breaking. I wanted to be a breaking show, and I couldn't even get the damn sizzle reel. It sucked. Anyways, guys, not your problem, mine, but that's where I was Saturday. I enjoyed my day yesterday. I kind of was enjoying my day today. I paid for Fox Nation. If you guys don't know, they're running a special right now on Fox Nation. You can get it for $2.99. You have to pay for the full year. I think it was like $40 some with tax or whatever. But to have News Nation for a whole year, it goes up to $71 at the end of the year, so you can cancel your subscription. But I thought for $40 it was good. You know, we're doing a little more political stuff, so I'd like to have some stuff I can, you know, just videotape and clip and reel and do our stuff. So, yeah, you need a break now. I've been having enough breaks, though. I don't like it because I'm just coming off the holidays at the end of the year. We're getting through the holiday depression stuff. And what I find is the best way to get out of it is just keep yourself busy. And not only that, we're on like go time politically, because it's such a contentious time of our society. And, there's a lot of contention, I think, everywhere, and it's just one of those things where this is part of my life, and we need to work. I need to have two hats. I need to have a political hat and a true crime hat. So I'm going to be doing it, and we're going to be doing it all together. And but tomorrow we'll be here at 9. Tuesday I'm hoping not be gone all day, but it's going to be our first meeting of the year, and God knows what they put all on the agenda. So anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Be there or be square. Good night, guys.